Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together. Alrighty, so we had to decide whether to phone the police or did nothing. I knew the police wouldn't help me. And we were trying to figure out what was most Trixie.
Based on everything that, like, and all the hints and everything else involved, I actually don't think Trixie would call the police, but there is, like, that level of going, you don't know what else to do, so you might at this point just call the police.
I say Trixie is also, despite being disorganized and overwhelmed, oddly proactive.
Yes.
Does know what she needs to do and does actually get out and do things.
Well, I'm saying, like, even for as much as, like, though Trixie personally finds many aspects, obviously, ACAB, all cops are bad, or all cops are bastards, to be a part of the philosophy behind this character, there is a thing where you do kind of go, what the fuck else am I supposed to do? Like, I do run into that point where you go, what else can I do?
Like, I hate the police, but I have no other action to take.
Yeah, exactly, because also that's because the system is poorly designed, and when you give all the, basically, power and discretion to the police, who else do you call?
So who you gonna call? I don't know.
So I think in this case, actually, we'd phone the police.
Okay, we're gonna phone the police.
We're gonna phone the police. I don't want to. I knew I had to try. I dialed the police.
Sometimes I just love the fact that all of this is written into a paper. Like, all of this is written into a paper to address, can I please have more time for my coursework?
It's actually really kind of interesting.
Well, that's the sort of thing of like, oh, and this new thing is coming out. Oh, and they're remaking this. Oh, sorry, I mentioned that, but you actually typed it in and left it there anyway.
Yes, really.
I find it sort of charming.
Yeah, I dialed the police. Hey, I'd like to report a dangerous deer at my university. Wait, who is this? I checked the number. It was definitely police. So why were they whispering? I strained my ears to try to pick out words, but all I could hear was faint murmuring. Hey, look, I've tried to report an incident, so shut up. I know you guys are a bunch of homophobic bootleggers, but at least try to do your jobs, okay?
Yes.
Hello? For fuck's sake! More murmuring. First I thought my attempt at a feminine voice was being mocked.
Aww.
But then I heard the word Carcosa, and my blood chilled. The police were compromised. I disconnected the call. This was hopeless. Nikita had somehow gotten the police in on this against me.
The police were compromised. That's amazing as a sentence.
Also, I love the tones of linking, basically. So the King in Yellow basically seems to have a very tyrannical, if authoritarian bent, right?
Yes.
The whole sound of that. So, and then Nikita herself was actually using basically fascist imagery,
yes,
which is what your character points out, and then going, and then the police are also compromised. Makes total sense to me. I'm like, that logic is really good there. I like that through line with the themes.
Yep.
That's really solid. I cannot explain to you how much fun I've had with this game. This has been so good.
It's been really good. Honestly, it's just so much fun when you pick up a game that you really know nothing about, and you're approaching completely blindly, and you go, okay, there's so many things in here I love.
Like, again, this was a little weird to start, but we've run into that with a couple of the indie games. Like, just the indie game market, like, when it hits good, it hits really good.
Like, I was also gonna say, and some of the things, if you're gonna do something unique and distinctive, it's gonna hit weird at first. It's gonna have a learning curve or getting accustomed to it. And yeah, this wasn't hard once we had a few minutes to be like, okay, that's just what they're doing.
Right. Somehow got the police in on this against me. I gave up. This is my problem to deal with alone. The most distinct, terrifying moment I recall was at maybe 4 a.m. I was lying awake when I noticed a figure stood at my door. Tall, robed, and stood perfectly still. I held my breath and shut my eyes. I don't know how long they were shut, but eventually I opened them again. My breathing was ragged as I focused. There was no one there. The King in Yellow had left. I should. I mean, you are the one who actually has the yellow raincoat, and I'm kind of actually wondering at this point if it's going to come into play. I have been curious.
This episode of Trixie brought to you by Little Nightmares. Sorry, yellow raincoat.
Actually, yellow actually does come up a lot in horror, and it's been interesting where people talk about it. It seems fairly basic to me, where I know, like, there's a couple of people who do YouTube videos, the reason why there's yellow, and I'm like, I always just thought it because it was just the bright popping color, and it seems very childish. So you have sort of that thing, plus also the association of yellow, especially in the United States, is associated with basically caution.
Well, and yellow has less of an association than the other two, because if you're doing primaries, which is you have to start with the most basic of colors, then your red is always with, blood, danger, fear.
Yeah.
And then your blue is just water and sky.
And
so,
also, your red and blue are really largely... So look at this in character designs. Even with movies, with actors, you will watch, typically primary characters will wear either some variant of red or blue, if not combining the two. Yellow actually tends to be left out more often, and some people say that it's also because yellow has, like, sickly associations. It doesn't match up as well with, like, actors' skin tones, because most of them, are
most
white.
of them are white people.
Yeah, so, and they usually go, well, you look better in blue or red, right? And in those color schemes, and yellow doesn't go as well with white people on average. So I just think that's really interesting, though, whereas, like, yellow tends to get left behind, and yellow is almost more exclusively used for other things compared to, like, red or blue. As I was being watched, Nikita had the Guardian. Oh, God. Eventually, I managed some small amount of restful sleep, an hour or two at most. When I awoke, I could remember what happened with Nikita all too well. I could remember reading The King in Yellow, but after that, nothing. Parts of it seemed to be a dream or my imagination or something worse. There was no wall between reality and madness. I couldn't trust anything, but I knew Nikita was dangerous. I knew she was headed to the Broken Throne. Quite what that meant, I didn't know, but I had to stop her. If Nikita unlocked the white gate of Holly and walked through, I could walk back out. Despite my fatigue, I somehow remembered that I needed to change my estrogen patch today. That's really charming. I was
gonna say, I enjoy the fact that it's made very, very clear that Trixie is going through a transition process, and that it is not beating around the bush, it is not obscuring it at all, but it's also not making it the main part of the narrative.
No, it's just a part of her routine. It's
sort of the thing where, like I mentioned, God, what game was it recently? Oh, I was gonna say, it's actually, I mentioned in, Who Killed My Father Academy, where it was like the queer presence is very, very clear.
It's a part of
absolutely clear, but it's never the focus of the story.
Right.
And it's never the main point of any of the characters at all. In the same way that the main point of Trixie, this isn't a trans story. We're not telling that story. It's just part of her life and who she is.
Right.
And I love that because it seems like as limited as the media is on queer subject matter, okay, just the entire umbrella of, the rainbow, if you will, there is this bit of either, everybody going, it's basically just baiting or implying everything. It's implied bisexual, it's implied gay, it's implied romantic feelings. It's never explicit. And if it is explicit, that's the only thing the story's about. There isn't an other story. The story's just about the queer.
Yeah, well, and it's also one of those things, too, where it's like the characters feel very weirdly detached. So, like, even when we've played basically stories that supposedly have, like, gay dating things going on, there's not, like, the characters really talking about, like we've mentioned this before, there's no involvement in what it feels like to be gay for them, or any of their gay experiences. They're just going, God, I saw this person, and it's just, like, a part of their lives. It's this weird sort of, well, you could just date me because I'm open to anyone, but it literally means nothing.
When you play a dating game and the love interests are player sexual, they will be whatever, they will be interested in whatever gender you are, no matter what gender they are, then, and there is it's never discussed in the story at all. It's not really a queer story in the same way. Yeah. Because it acts as if, like, there's such a desperate push in the games we've played to be inclusive that then the discussion of, of gayness doesn't exist. The discussion of being queer doesn't exist. Right. Because they're basically like, this is completely normal here, and to such a point that you never discuss it at all, which removes it so far from our reality as to be a little alienating.
Well, yeah, even in regards to just going, like I said, just having a casual conversation going, let's say, like, a woman going, oh my God, I saw this other woman walking down the hall and she was hot as fuck. Like, there's no concept of, like, culture or connection or going, my God, I was trying to go dating, you know how many dudes I had to swipe, and then finally I had to just realize going, I was having a dude day, and I really wish I could get back to having a girl day. Like, for somebody who was, like, just having, a bisexual experience going, like, some days I feel more like this. Like, just personalize it a little bit more. It's so fucking weird.
Also going, even if you want all of the dating options to be absolutely available to anybody, no matter what gender they choose, and your gender is completely choosable, then make it so there are other characters that have sexualities and have relationships that are discussed, and you could have your main love interest being like, God, I was gushing to you, and then somebody and then one of their friends goes, yeah, I'm not really into boys, or whatever the main character is,
right?
And they could and it could be one of those moments where it's like, then people have differences. At any rate,
I was just like, it is
anyway. So I love the fact that it's just really completely normalized in here. It's a very smooth, even part of Trixie's narrative, and it's not her story. It's just part of her life.
But also, again, desperate to retain some degree of normalcy, I decided to get on top of that. And again, like, that's the thing is also, I like this is going, that is her routine. This, she's like a trying, and it adds in not only character, it adds in basically her background, it adds in her queerness, basically, as it were. It adds in her story, her background, some of her goals.
Yep.
And also then going, I'm trying to go back to, like, it tries to establish basically this is her routine, her trying to gain control back of
no
her
matter
life.
how stressed I get, I'm trying to have a sense of balance.
Yes, which is, again, I'm like, you
really
can do
cool.
so much with a line. Like, it's just...
It's very valuable.
Very consistent. I'd been skimping on my anti-androgen tablets too. No wonder I was a mess. My hormones were all over the place. I love... Sorry, this acknowledgement
This is
just
very
so
good. It's very good.
I downed one, hoping to keep my testosterone in check. With dark thoughts still swirling in my head, I managed to stagger over to my bathroom mirror. As usual, the edges of my patch were coated in grey gunk. Gross. I peeled the sticky patch off, and as usual, I looked like shit. I needed a hot shower. Maybe it would wash away the storm of thoughts in my mind along with the gross eye gunk clinging into my face. I spent most of it curled up under the water, the hot water masking my tears.
Oh, baby.
It woke me up, but I didn't feel any better. After the shower, I slapped on a new patch on my ear.
That's what's on her ear.
That's on her ear!
Because I was gonna say, it can't.
Why
be over
is
the
it
fear.
pink? Actually, it's okay. So, full disclosure, I actually complained about it to my friend off screen, going like, I wish her little ear cuff, what I assumed at the time, wasn't pink, because it blends in so much. And I'm like, it's a fucking estrogen patch.
And so it
that
blends
makes
in because of her skin.
because it's supposed to be skin colored.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh my god, slap on the wrist for me, but also I'm delighted to get that smack.
I also love it that it's going, I'm gonna critique the character design and then go, this has a function, it's not just an aesthetic choice.
And again, there's nothing wrong with aesthetics. Aesthetics can mean so much, and they can also literally mean nothing. Because aesthetics can literally just exist for aesthetic's sake.
And someone can have a different aesthetic preference.
Yes,
And
and also
that's really
sometimes
great.
somebody's aesthetic preference is literally something they are not economically able to obtain, which it is. I wish more people would actually be able to touch on in regards to a story where they're like, God, I really love this stuff, but I can never afford it.
And the I would dress this way, but I don't. You have your most ordinary, basic thrift shopped t-shirt and jeans character, and they see somebody who is absolutely like high-end, beautiful alts, and they're like, I would dress like that if I could afford it.
Right.
And they're like, that is so.
Or going, if it would give me a job, like in the ways that they've been able to access. They're going
Right.
like, I don't know how to get a job with something like that, and also going maybe like monetary, like a character building. I want more of it, and this is so good. Anyway.
Yes. Anyway, this is great because I had a hot second where I went, you need to, you can't wear your patch over your fur. Did you shave something? I'm like, it's on your ear. That's so good.
You're meant to put them below the waist, but I don't want to shave an area for it, so
that's so great.
I also
love
wonder
that.
if that's actually kind of affecting her experience, because I don't know how the absorption rate like in your ears would go.
Works.
Yeah, like that would actually be interesting. I'm assuming I'll be fine. I haven't died yet. I'd gotten a text from cops, the local pizza takeaway. Apparently they were blacklisting me for prank calling them because you got the wrong one. Anyway, so I would actually say part of the thing is going like, I haven't died yet with the ear thing. So as far as I understand, actually most patches, the reason why they want you to put them on a large area is so that the absorption rate will be actually more controlled. Or if you're going to put them like on your thigh, it's because you have lots of large veins that actually run through your legs.
And we'll move the stuff around really evenly, yeah?
Right, yeah. So as far as I understand, that's one of the reasons, like, again, nicotine patches, they want them on bigger areas, like your arm, or like you're going to stick them on your leg or something. There are specific reasons why they say, yeah, put them where they are. So if you're on patches or you're taking shots, please take them where they ask you to take them. Like, it can actually really hurt you.
And if you need another option, try to ask them where the best option would be and go with your medical professional.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Though I do understand also, because I especially like for estrogen, so I'm gonna go off a tiny tangent, or anything in regards to trying to get gender affirming hormones. And if for a lot of people now, we're running into various issues with legislature that is literally saying, no hormones for children, no puberty blockers, that sort of thing. If you do get them in outside channels, please try to spend some time spending a lot of time
educating yourself,
because you could really hurt yourself. Like, and I mean, just like the fact that you might not even be getting the effects you want out of them. So it's like, if you want the most effectiveness, please try spending time with people who actually do, even if it's like they've had to treat themselves, listen to people who've done it before, and also like look around and talk to people. It might be scary, but like, I would rather you be able to get the most out of your experience rather than going, I spent all this time and I possibly,
and possibly money,
and it
didn't get me where I wanted to go.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to support you. Blacklisting me for prank calling them. I blinked. bemused. I had no idea what it was about. Had Nikita framed me? She seemed a little beyond sabotaging my pizza reputation when she was waving a weapon at me. You've missed this one. That's okay.
You don't realize that's what you called the wrong place.
Yes. I figured it was a mistake and left it. Their pizza was overpriced. Anyway, I wonder, again, it's like, if you're starting to actually trip out, you might miss it. So, I'd gotten another text, this time from campus security. Apparently the person next door, I think Misty Dartmouth or someone on the museum studies course, had put in a complaint about me. Apparently I'd been talking to myself all night and scratching the wall. Shame. I liked her. Just because she had a nice name. I'd looked at the wall. It was true. I'd left some tiny claw marks in them. That was my deposit gone. Maybe I could buy some paint off of Heidi and hide them, but right now I had more pressing problems. By the time I was ready to face the world, it was already pretty late. I needed to do something. After last night, the last thing I wanted was to be trapped inside with my mind all day.
Yeah.
I was thinking about seeing Gregg, how Gregg was doing when my phone buzzed. It was Gregg. Convenient.
I love those. Hey, Trixie, I was wondering if you wanted to come help me with that thing I asked you about yesterday?
I could, I guess.
You okay, Trixie? You sense that? Gregg is so perceptive and really sensitive and thoughtful. Gregg going, I appreciate that you are having an experience and I try to perceive it. And also, even when you're just like, I guess I could. You sound sad. Are you okay?
Right. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just tired. It's all. Maybe I'm having a classic HRT mood swing. So for you, if you do not know, and it's totally fine if you don't, HRT means hormonal replacement therapy. I'll come over soon. Okay.
Which is the whole conversation we were talking about with the patch and everything.
Yeah.
And where my friend said at the beginning of the game, going, I think Trixie is trans, which has been confirmed.
Yeah, which I really like. We've had several confirmations over this whole time, but I'm like, it's still just really charm.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, I love the way how it's woven in. It's not the story, it's just a part of her life. Okay, I hope you feel better soon. Don't push yourself. Also, please come, because I need you.
But also,
please come, because I need you.
Alright, I'd almost forgotten about my discussion with Gregg. I was already feeling weird about the whole meddling with strange entity stuff they had going on, and after last night, I just wanted to stop Gregg making any mistakes. If the King in Yellow was real, Carcosa, the Broken Throne, I didn't need another unspeakable terror in my life. I shook my head. It would probably be fine. I'd talk them out of it.
I go down there and just be like, maybe don't summon a deity.
Gregg was making cakes, as usual.
Hi, Trixie. Nice to see you. Feeling any better?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling fine. I just had a late night is all. It was half true. I didn't really want to go into crap with Nikita right now, much less the King in Yellow. No, today was going to be a relaxing day of helping out Gregg. I could worry about Carcosa later.
So yeah, I'm just going to, for anyone who was on board, so yeah, this little piece of the character, that's the patch.
That's the ear patch. I like this, deeply charming. So you wanted me to help with something, right? Like research?
No, not research. I got some stuff sorted out last night. Already. The entire ritual set up. Oh
dear.
I totally arranged a meeting with someone selling a copy of that book. I need right here in town. We're meeting tonight.
Oh, cool. So, like, you're buying it? You want me to help you read it?
I was thinking more, you help me steal it.
I think Gregg saw the look on my face and scrabbled to keep me on board. Unfortunately, they succeeded. Also, I love... Okay, so I have to say, I have some of my suspicions that Gregg is obviously not as fluffy as they appear. Or they are just as fluffy. They're just willing to do some rather extreme things.
So I'm getting and this isn't quite the right vibe, but I'm getting like Happy Tree Fins adjacent, where you genuinely are a nice, soft, cute, fluffy designed character, and you do have a bright chipper voice, and you do see the world in a bright way, but you also do horrible things.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of that.
But it's also like, I don't know exactly how horrible, air quotes.
Well, that's why I said adjacent.
Yeah.
Because it's more like my morality is flexible based on what I need.
Right.
And, it's not that bad. We're not going to hurt anybody.
It's right. Yeah, we would do that.
Hey. It's for good cause, right? I can't afford it. I need it to save my bakery. And besides, maybe it's fake. It might just be a scam artist. We'd be beating them at their own game. Alright, let me go ahead and just suggest that maybe it's okay.
I don't know, Gregg. Sounds like a crime. A criminal act. We'd be criminals, Gregg.
Well, this might be the only chance to save the bakery. This person, apparently they're rich, if that makes any difference. Steal from the rich.
I mean, if they're rich and hoarding haunted books and you're poor and need haunted books, I guess that means ethically we have to rob them, right? I mean, yes?
I rob from the rich who possess haunted books to give haunted books to the poor. I am the occult Robin Hood.
Oh my god. So I've heard interesting stories, and I don't know exactly how accurate they are, but I've actually heard about some people who've discussed, whether on Reddit or sort of across Tumblr, kind of going, so at one point they're like, I got robbed, you know, and I was at home, and the robbers were like, holy shit, dude, you live like this?
Uh-huh.
And they were like, here, let me just give you stuff, you know? Or, like, they just sort of left them.
They're just
like they apologize.
I'm so sorry.
You
and
know,
they just quietly leave the way they came in. I actually heard one story of one of them where they're like, I'm really sorry we broke your window.
Uh-huh.
Here's $50 for the glass. You know, kind of thing. And being like,
they were
we did not realize how impoverished you were. We're not going to steal from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing is so I don't, like, it is a hard line to really understand, particularly in the United States, of how much the narrative is pushed that poor people are indiscriminately stealing for no reason. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that it's not true. No. Like, bullshit. Like, even if they're just stealing to go, I'm just trying to get high once, or I'm just trying to do something, it is because you are in pain. It's because you are suffering, it's because you can't afford things, and you're going like, I just want to feel like a normal person once, so sure, I want $200 to take just myself to go to the theme park or whatever it is. Even if it's a one-time thing. You're like, there's so many rich people going, you're willing to do that? And you're like, yeah, because when am I ever going to be able to?
You also tell me that I should be able to.
Uh-huh.
And that everyone
you
should be
shame
able
me.
to. And if I haven't done it, what's wrong with me in my life? So then, next time I'm in a conversation, I can go, yeah, I totally have been to a theme park, and then I sound like a normal person.
Instead of going, I haven't done anything. It's actually, so, little personal information about me is one of the things that has sort of, it's a conversation I actually regularly have with my own therapist, of just kind of like, I feel deeply abnormal because my whole life I've never really done what seems to be what everybody expects me to be able to do, especially my family. So I've talked about it on my channel before, or on this channel in various different areas before, of just going, my parents had money. My dad was a doctor and he had a several $million business, and there's this high level of expectation still from my mother, who hasn't had a job for over 30 years, of going like, why can't you just do stuff? Why can't you just go around, do things? And she's like, well, we don't have money anymore because there was a big, huge event. My parents lost everything. But the thing is she still seems completely unable to understand.
I'm going, why can't you just drop everything and fly over here and visit, or drive over here and visit, and then stay for a whole week? When your job doesn't give you time off? You know,
why don't they
just take time off?
Just take time off. And I'm like, and do what?
And also, I can't afford it. And I was gonna say, it's one of those things where, and also, in reference to what my friend was talking about, of like, I just took the money and I did something fun, and people going, well, why didn't you try and improve your life? The thing is being stuck in social conversations where you say, I've never done that stuff, over and over and over again. Like, at my own work right now, when I go, yeah, I don't really take vacations. Yeah, I don't really just fly around. Yeah, I don't really drive that far away because it costs gas. When you tell someone you won't drive up to the mountains for a day trip because it costs so much in gas money, they shut down and get quiet. So, like, there is this level of, if I don't act like I can do all the normal expected things, no one feels comfortable talking to me because poverty is uncomfortable.
And nobody wants to acknowledge that.
It's embarrassing, so you're being embarrassing.
Yeah, going, could you put us in this position and make us feel bad?
And so it's like, so if you know, take those things and you go, okay, I'm going to try and live a normal life, even if it requires some level of illegalness, which then, you know, it's so that you can actually have normalcy in reference to other parts of your life. Because if you're at a job trying to lie about the shit you do, people know.
Of course they do. It's one of the big reasons, even in regards to, like, in the United States, where I've been baffled for years, and I literally mean years, of going, why don't we just have access to the internet? Because it is such a huge fucking part of getting jobs, staying connected, a requirement of socialization, like, it is so...
Like, it's required for all school now.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
And it's required for most jobs now. In fact, the job that I have right now requires me to have a cell phone because I need to have access to text messaging.
Yep.
Because that's how they communicate. So even if I could go to the library for internet, I would not be able to do what this job requires because of that.
And there's also even a problem too where lots of jobs actually don't do the in-person basically applications anymore. They will actually put you on a blacklist in the United States if you walk in and you ask about an application.
Some places, yeah.
They'll go, you're supposed to follow the directions why didn't you go online? But they won't tell you that they've done that. They just go, you can't follow directions.
Because you're supposed to, because it will say on their poster, go online, go to this website.
But if you go and you ask them I'm like, it's so awful. Anyway, I'm just, ethically
rub
have
them.
to rub them, right? Like that old story where the fox stole the money from the rich and gave it to the poor or whatever.
Exactly, like that. Those haunted books belong to everyone, and I need one to save my bakery. Alright, those haunted books belong to... Okay, so I don't support or endorse Indiana Jones. Those haunted books belong to everyone! They should be in a museum!
Which is actually really funny because...
Everyone can't get access to the museum.
Well, and also, the thing is pretty much everything, if you know anything about the morality behind museums, it is awful.
It is theft.
Because it's all theft.
Theft.
It is deep cultural theft.
And maybe in future, we can make it up to them. You in?
Unfortunately, I said yes.
Hi, me.
Hello.
I want to help this cinnamon roll.
Uh-huh.
Cinnamon roll, who makes cinnamon rolls?
Yeah. We spent most of the day running the bakery like normal, but after we closed up for the day, we got down to a dirty crime.
Okay, but I bet you, even just having someone like, Trixie, I can't bake anything. Yeah, but if you can run the cash register and take care of the customers walking in, I can bake more than normal.
Uh-huh.
And it can help.
Yeah, I can, actually.
Okay, so, you know the plan, right? When I say the trigger phrase, Tango October Dusk, you leap out and push the schmuck over.
Todd? T-O-D? Todd.
Todd? Oh, Todd. T-O-D, yes. When I say Todd, you leap out and push the schmuck over. Got that? That okay?
Wasn't a very subtle trigger phrase. I was curious to see how Gregg might definitely weave it into the conversation.
Now, when you push them, you gotta make sure it's a good push. I know you're not very strong, I think, probably. We need to grab that book and run! Apparently they're trained in some kind of dual-wielding, weapon-based martial art, and I don't want to find out about that firsthand.
I'm like, it's martial, not martial, M-A-R-T-I-A-L.
I know, it's fine. Martial arts.
Martial.
Yep.
Gregg attempted a reassuring smile, but I was not reassured.
Oh yeah, I made us some disguises too.
They're gonna be really bad. Gregg ran into their storeroom.
Oh my god, poor thing.
I knew it.
Surprise! It's me, Gregg.
This is so fucking cute.
Gregg, you're adorable and nonsense, and you're a disaster. I hope I didn't scare you with the spooky face I drew.
They tossed a second box over to me. A box?
Yeah, of course. We don't want to be recognised, right? They might seek revenge.
That wasn't reassuring.
Box face.
Yes! I tried on my disguise. They would definitely cover our faces, but they weren't particularly impressive.
Right, so you know the plan, don't you? Honestly, a box that
I had beneath some bins and...
Okay, that fits on your head.
Uh-huh.
So that it's a little bit snug along the sides or whatever, and so it doesn't shift around when you turn your head. Mm-hmm. It is an effective mask helmet thing. That's
actually a greater skill than you realize.
With the disguise on,
I sighed. I hid beneath some bins with a box on my head. When you said the trigger phrase, I leap out and push over the bookseller. In the confusion, you grabbed the book and we ran away.
What's the trigger phrase?
Tango
October Dusk.
Yeah, I knew that. Gregg bit their lip. They didn't seem entirely convinced. I pulled off the box. It'll be fine, Gregg. I promise. But can I make some changes to my box?
Oh no, I need to change my box.
Me and Gregg got a position at the meeting spot, the alleyway next to Pound Town. A figure appeared at the end of the alleyway as if by magic.
Poof.
They slowly approached us. I kept my head down and behind the bins.
Just trying to be a box, a normal box. That looks amazing.
Wow, Delilah Moonbeam, Keeper of the Cosmic Secrets.
Okay, but I love that. Just Delilah Moonbeam, Keeper of the Cosmic Secrets. Daylight shroud dissipates and I arrive here through the moonlight. Delilah Moonbeam, Keeper of the Cosmic... Delilah Moonbeam, Keeper of the Cosmic Secrets. Froze.
No. They were talking and they got it. Delilah Moonbeam, Keeper of the Cosmic Secrets, froze as they raised their hooded face to Gregg.
What?
Wait,
is that...
Delilah shook their head, dismissing whatever they were thinking.
I mean, wait, is that definitely the person searching for the lost book of Darkest Dread? Of course! So, you have it? Of course, I would not have forgotten it.
I could
not have forgotten it. I am a servant of the moon itself. I am the moon itself, here to grace you with terrible gifts. Excellent! This deal should go down smoothly, then, my friend.
This deal should then go down smoothly, my friend. Was that the trigger phrase? It didn't sound like one, but the irony of launching our crime with it would be pretty funny. Delilah would probably laugh about it later. Was Gregg into irony? I wasn't sure. I stepped. You stay hiding.
Stay hiding. We're good. We're good enough to know that one.
It's okay. I know you're a little overwhelmed, but we can do this. I said, no, that wasn't it. The actual phrase was Wakramia. I could distinctly remember rolling my eyes when Gregg first mentioned it.
The payment, then. You have it? The Moonlight Man demands it. Well, the Octagon strikes at dawn, right? Huh.
Was that the phrase? It sounded weird enough to be it, and it did have the word strike in it. Stayed hiding.
It's still not it, but I wonder if Gregg forgot it.
Oh no, I wonder if Gregg did!
Yeah, because I'm wondering if Gregg is nervous enough that they forgot it.
Oh shit. Alright, well, we'll find out. No, I knew that wasn't it. It kept hidden.
Excuse me? Oh, sorry, it's from a cartoon. I thought you were referencing
Gregg
it.
forgot.
They're referencing it.
There was an awkward pause.
So, are you going to give me the money now, or... Yeah, it's a veritable old Tango October Dusk. We're gonna do it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what? What does that even mean? Leapt out and pushed the schmuck over. Oh my god, we're freaking out. We can't do this.
That's okay.
You put the teeth. Oh my god.
I leapt out from the bins. Delilah yelled, but before they could turn to face me, Gregg jumped at them and created a short distraction while I knocked into them, pushing them forward.
Bonk.
Bonk.
They just fell down.
The mask fell to the ground, but seemed undamaged. Delilah seemed to realise her face was exposed, but Gregg was already lunging for the book. Delilah dropped it and pulled their cloak over their face, keeping their identity shadowed by the night. They ran and quickly disappeared from view. Oh wow, that went pretty well.
Nice job. I should have known keeping their secret identity would be more important than the book. Good thinking.
Oh, yeah, no, that was intentional.
I didn't realise they were wearing a mask. I thought that was the face.
I did too, because actually with the eye...
Yeah, with the eye emotes.
But I guess we're doing the Spider-Man thing where they're like, here's the mask, and for some reason it can emote.
You know what, though? Great mask, by the way.
Hells
yeah.
I totally owned them. Yep, you bet. It hadn't been intentional, but Gregg seemed impressed.
But Gregg's gonna have to seem more impressed in the
next one! Hey, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. It actually helps a lot out with the YouTube algorithm. It lets YouTube know that, hey, we are here, and people like our stuff. They interact with it, but also no obligation.
So even a simple thumbs up makes a huge difference in the visibility of our channel and can help other people who are interested find us.
Yes! Also, please feel free, though, to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon and our Twitch. We have some links in the description down below. We'd love to see you on one of those platforms, since we do have other goals that we could really use your help with achieving, but again, still no pressure. That's not what we're here for. And also, please feel free to go check us out on any of our other social media links. We'd love to see you around town.
Yes!
And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!